All right, so continuing where we left off in the last video. So basically, we covered how these how bit like kind of the if statement works. Another thing that I want to go over is the else statement, which is just like if, but it's else. So like this. So I can say print um, x is not equal to 5 in here. And obviously we know which one of these is going to run. It's going to run that one because it's 6 right there. All right, so the reason why this ran down here is because this if and this else, god damn it, why is that working? Why is that happening? What did I just do? Oh. Okay, sorry about that. The reason why this else is able to work is because this if and else are connected to each other. You can't have an else alone. You can have an if alone. Obviously, we were just playing with that in the last tutorial there. I can't just do this though. I can't just have else x is equal to 5. It's going to throw you an error. Okay, and the reason why is because they are connected. I can say if this is true, do this, but I can't say else this is true, do this. It doesn't even make sense like in the English language, you know. So and basically, another thing you might notice here is I just say else and then colon. I don't have to like put a condition in here like x is not equal to 5 or something like that. I don't have to do that. All I have to do is write else and that's it. So if this is false right here, it's just going to skip over everything in the if and just go right to the else and run it. It doesn't care what other possible condition it could be. It's just going to go right there. Because we're in a good position here, I'm just going to go over the elif. So if I were to type in elif here, and let's say elif x is equal to 6, because we already have that there, and I'm going to say print x is equal to 6. Which one do you think is going to run? Easy enough. Obviously, x is equal to 6 because it is. So obviously, so basically this elif it works the same way. Elif is also connected to this if and this else here. All three of them are connected. These two cannot sit alone. The if can just be alone if it wants to be. I can have an if and then an elif and not an else. I can have an if and an else, but I'd have to have at least that if there. And I can have multiple elifs too. Like if I wanted to have, one that tests for 7, I can also do that. Notice how I'm stacking these, where like the statements are all stacked like in a row like this, and then everything that's like happening if they are true occurs on that tab row there. Another thing I didn't point out in the last video that's definitely important to talk about right now is up here when I'm making a variable declaration, I'm saying x is equal to 6 right here. I just have this one equal sign. Whereas for all these statements here, all these conditions, I'm saying equals equals. Well, the reason why is because whenever you're trying to condition a variable, whenever you're trying to figure out whether something is true or false, and you're trying to figure out whether it's like something is equal to another thing, you have to use two equal signs. So that way, the computer doesn't think I'm trying to say x is equal to 5 now. You have to use two equal signs, so that way it's basically asking, is x equal to 5? That's like the way to read it, All right, so let's go ahead and write y is equal to 5 now. And then we're going to say y is equal to 5 right here. So if you look at this, you notice that two things are true now. This first if statement is true, where it says y is equal to 5, because y is equal to 5 here. And then this x is also equal to 6. What do you think is going to happen here? Do you think only one of them is going to run, or do you think both of them are going to run? Well, the answer is only one of them is going to run. You can see that right there, and it's the first one. It's because these are connected, because these are elifs here, it's just going to go right down in order, and it's going to find the first one that's true and run that. And if none of them are true, it's going to go right to that else and just go with the else statement. If I were to get rid of, for instance, if I were to just have an if like this, now you're going to see that both of them get printed out. And it's because the if statements are not connected to each other. Only if it's an elif can they kind of be strung together. these two if statements are completely separate, and both of them can be true, both of them can be false. Just an important note there. All right, so let's scrap all this code real quick. And then I can also say name, and I'm going to make this equal to, let's just go with AJ. And I'm going to say if name is equal to AJ, then hello AJ, right there. So obviously, if I run this, it's going to print hello AJ. Just showing you here that you can use strings to test things. So you can check whether or not name is equal to this here. If I were to set this equal to AJG or something like that, nothing would run. Exactly as you would expect it. It works in the same way. And then you can also do something like this. You can instead of just using equal signs, you can say if 7 is greater than 5, then print this is true. And you can do it just like that. You can run it just like that. And obviously, if this was not true, it won't run. Pretty straightforward for the most part. You can also you don't have to use just greater than or equal to. You can also say like 7 is greater than or equal to like this. You could put the equal sign in there, and basically this will test whether or not something is greater than or equal to. So like either one could be true and it'll run. You can do not equals. So like I can say I shouldn't have erased that. I'm just basically going to put something in the same thing in there. Okay, oops. Shoot, hold on. This is true or something. Here. Sorry. Will this run? Makes more sense. All right, so obviously 99 is equal to 99, but basically what this guy here with the exclamation point before the equal sign is saying is not equal to. So it's asking, is 99 not equal to 99? Well, this is a weird way of phrasing it, but it is false. This will not run when we run this here, and it's because 99 is equal to 99. It's not equal to 99. Very confusing. Guys, get used to this because it's going to get really bad really soon in terms of how the variables work here, the conditions work here. Just trying to look at the chapter some more. Basically, and just another thing I wanted to note, I didn't cover this in the last videos, even though I should have. Whenever I do like these, underscores, like 4 of them in a row, that's basically just meaning a tab. That's all it means. I think later on I get into these lines, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That just basically means 2 tabs. That's all it means. I'm just trying to signify it better inside of the text because I don't think it would come out. It wouldn't come out right unless I did it that way. So we're running a little long here, so that's it for this video. Hope you guys are kind of getting the hang of conditions there because they're definitely a very important part of the next several chapters. So I'll see you in the Python Programming Chapter 5 tutorial.